Welcome to the Fit Professional Podcast, where we talk about how fitness can grow your business.
Let's go. Today, we're just going to be going over just a general overview of how, working on your fitness nutrition can help you have better habits, better mindset, attitude, and also help you have a better schedule so you can grow your business.
Cool. So Seth, Joe, and myself have over 13 years of experience selling stuff door to door, growing our businesses that way. And now we've actually accomplished over 6 figures in our first year in business. And through all the roller coasters of being an entrepreneur that we're familiar with, we have still found ways to maximize our efficiency in the gym and with our own nutrition and just overall wellness. And we're excited to talk about 3 points that helped us throughout that journey on today's podcast.
Yeah, and this is crazy because I remember going back when I was, my first summer selling books. I was 18. I went to the University of Tennessee and I got recruited by this company called Southwestern Company. Great experience. I highly recommend. And I was up there selling, and we would have this schedule where we would wake up real early. We'd pop out of bed. We'd get started, by 8:30 in the morning. We'd have a morning routine, read a good book or whatever. And when we were working, from basically 8:30 to about 5 o'clock, we're doing this thing called prospecting, which if you're in sales or running your own business, you've got to really set aside a lot of time to go prospect and go meet people, whether it's phone calls or in person like we were doing. I was in a random place in Texas at the time. I didn't know anyone, and going throughout this new county. And you'd be prospecting, and then this 5 to 9 p.m. period would be your gravy. And, you would pack your lunch and you'd have your food and all this kind of stuff. And I remember my first few weeks, really that first summer, a lot of the time I would get to 5 o'clock and I'd run out of food because of poor planning. And I'd run out of food. And then my sales were just atrocious when 5 to 9 hit. And that's when all the parents were home. And I was just so hungry. I couldn't think. I couldn't effectively have a great attitude. I was just thinking about food and how hungry I was. And there was this moment where I heard this really great salesperson talk about how he would take a 5-minute break, drink a Gatorade, eat a sandwich, and then from 5 to 9, he would go talk to people, and he would just sell like crazy because he was really focused on who he was talking to and having a great attitude instead of being hungry or being thirsty. Or all these physiological needs that come from your fitness and nutrition, what your body needs in order to survive. And whenever I started to implement that, my sales went through the roof, and I did so much better, at that door-to-door sales job. And that reflects, when I'm selling over Zoom or in person or anything now too, with running Elevate.
Yeah, bro. So when I first got recruited, because I ended up selling for 5 summers. And my first year that I sold, the next year, or the first summer I sold, the very next semester of school, I was going to be going to my senior wrestling season in college. And obviously for me, that was like my 11th or 12th wrestling season. And for basically all of my career, I don't want to say I was working up to that point, but this is like my final college season. Right. And so that was a big focus of mine. And hearing that we're going to work 80 hours a week, I knew it's going to make a big impact on, for one, the skills that I had, my mentality, my experiences and stuff. But when I heard that it's 80 hours a week and people didn't really work out and we didn't really focus on our nutrition, that was honestly the biggest sacrifice I knew I was going to make. And throughout that time, like Joe said, there's times I just honestly felt like trash just from neglecting my body, neglecting my fitness, nutrition. And like Joe said, it definitely affected how I felt. And to me, how I feel is everything. Cause if I feel super mentally foggy and tired and not super confident because I haven't been taking care of my body, honestly, whatever I'm doing, regardless, even if it's just talking to a person, it's going to affect that. And I'm just not going to be able to perform at that high level. Like I'm used to performing at. And so because I started, over the next several summers, right? I sold for 5 summers. Over the next several summers, I just learned more and more how to actually eat a good, healthy diet and focus on my fitness while working 80 hours a week. And it's definitely super challenging at first. right? Especially with the super limited time you have, because as I moved up into my years, like starting my third year, not only was I selling 80 plus hours a week, but I was also an organizational leader at the same time. So I was also working an additional probably, what would you say, Joe, like, and Zaine, like 20 hours a week at least. So we're
Yeah, it's
honestly
unreal.
realistically
Pushing
working
90.
like,
We're pushing
yeah,
90.
we're probably working 90 to 100 hours per week. And over time, I just learned how to like make these small adjustments with my eating and my quick little workouts I did to just help me perform at a very high level, to the point to where very blessed that my last year I was able to probably be in the top 1% of salespeople out of like 200,000 people in a 165-year history of Southwestern. So it helped a lot to just learn to make those little tweaks and adjustments.
That's funny to hear about your first few years with Southwestern and how you actually struggled eating, Seth, because so my first summer in Southwestern was, Seth, what was that? Your third or fourth summer?
Third.
Your third summer. Okay. So by that point you had figured out that you needed to eat in order to do pretty well, right? But I was going through the same thing as I was a first year, literally not eating anything. Like sometimes like a peanut butter jelly and a half besides breakfast, and maybe in a protein bar. That's literally what I was eating on the daily. And I lost like 12 to 14 pounds over the course of like 2 months because I was they just kept preaching to a schedule. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to pull over to the side and eat food. I just didn't know what was the appropriate time to eat. Yeah. I'm like, I get breakfast, and if I can't eat something on the go, like while I'm driving, then I'm off schedule.
Yeah.
And until I shadowed Seth, I followed him probably freaking 4 or 5 times that summer because I had some health issues, etc. As a result from
Classic.
I think, honestly not eating enough. And so when I was like trying to get back out there after like having a fever for a few days or whatever, I would go shadow Seth just to get like back in the routine. And this guy would eat every hour and a half, and like it blew my mind. He would have this parking lot, I vividly remember, outside of this country club. We'd pull into this parking lot in Western Pennsylvania at this country club, and Seth would pull out Greek yogurt, almond butter, banana, and he'd lather a bunch of almond butter on this banana and eat his Greek yogurt. And I was just sitting there the whole time, like writing in my notebook, it's okay to eat throughout the day.
Bro.
Dude, that's crazy, you know? It made me think of like, you know, how often like people get sick or have headaches or all that kind of stuff, and how it affects their job too. Because I remember a bunch of times, you know, where I'd be working really, really hard trying to be the best. And, you know, I also am blessed to have hit really, really high numbers. You know, not competing or anything, but my best summer might have been bigger than Seth's.
It was a little bigger than mine, yeah.
And still, you know, top 1% and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I remember like having a gallon water jug that I would go through the entire gallon, you know, once, and then I would have like 3 or 4 more water bottles. I'd go more than a gallon a day, just because we were outside, you know, outdoor sales in the heat. And how big of a difference it would make. You know, imagine not having headaches, you know, because again, people don't realize it, but if you're not drinking enough water, you could have a pounding headache at 3 o'clock every day because you're just chronically dehydrated, you know. And wow, like just again, eating every hour and a half, like when you're in a intense focus mode, because like your brain requires that energy to really focus on what you're doing. And if you're in sales or entrepreneurship, you're running a business, you know how big of a deal it is to have a connection with someone, not a conversation, but having like a connection. If you're focused on all of these other things about how hungry or thirsty or have these headaches or you're getting sick, there's no way you're going to ever be successful in business. And I think people just really neglect it because of exactly what Zaine does, right? You trick your mind tricks you, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just need to keep working. And then you get sick, and then guess what? You just missed 3 days of work because you haven't been taking care of your body, right? And there's all these things, you know, it all runs together. And I think that's really interesting. Just hearing you say that, Zaine, I didn't know that you were eating 1 PB&J.
Yeah,
and so, 14-hour day.
But guess how much jelly was on that PBJ?
At least 6 tablespoons. At least.
Bro.
Man, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, so I like the things that you said. Even going through the scope of, right, like your body gives you so many feedback mechanisms, and it'll tell you if you're not drinking enough water. That's why this stuff is really, really important. And we're we're being an entrepreneur and being in sales and that kind of stuff, we're always preached like, man, nothing replaces hard work. Nothing replaces hard work. Like, suck it up and get to it, right? But if I'm literally going throughout the day, now that I know what I know, if I am feeling lethargic, if I am feeling like tired and I have a ton of stuff to do, I will literally, doesn't even matter. I will set aside a time to go grab something to eat, to let my mind rest for 5 minutes, to drink some water. And that is so much better for efficiency's sake and for growing business, like my business, than if I was to just power through and work inefficiently for the next 3 hours because I have a pounding headache and I'm super tired and my mind's not clear at all.
Yeah. And then,
so
and then you
better.
Rationalize to just not work. You're like, oh, working is the problem. Right. But it's actually, you're not taking care of your fitness. You're not working on your nutrition. You're not feeling good is not because of whatever you're doing. It's because it's Maslow's law, which is this hierarchy of needs, which maybe you've learned in school if you ever paid attention during psychology or something. But basically, if your body is like dying of hunger, you can't think high level thoughts. If you're thirsty and your body thinks you're dying of thirst, you can't learn, right? So you're trying to learn, and as an entrepreneur, you're always trying to learn. And then your brain literally cannot, you understand what you're trying to learn, if you're not feeding yourself. I mean, if you do what Zaine was saying, it's like, actually your brain will shrink if you're hungry all the time. Like, there's all these things that go into it that would actually perform or like help you perform better in sales and business, right? And kind of like one of those three things you mentioned at the beginning, we're really talking about that mindset, right? Your attitude is affected, right? One of the biggest reasons you should worry about your fitness and nutrition and put it into your schedule, right, as a daily routine, daily habit, is it's going to, help you perform mentally at a higher level, right? If you're performing at a mentally higher level, you will close more sales, you will grow your business more, you'll have more brilliant ideas of how to improve your systems, right? So your mindset is going to be transformed by doing some of the simple tasks that we neglect in ourselves.
So what's tangible action steps here? So I have a couple in my mind. So we were talking about scheduled throughout this. So one is just like Zaine was saying, schedule 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes between your sales calls, right? Because sometimes I'll have like 5 or more sales calls in a day, sometimes more. Now, obviously, when we sold door to door, it's way more than that. But what I'll do now to stay focused, to keep that mentality high, to continue to have incredible energy, is I'll schedule like 5, 10, 15 minutes between my meetings, right? Maybe I'll have like 2 or 3 in a row, but then at some point every hour or so, I'm scheduling a few minutes in, like Zaine said, to go grab some water, go grab some food, go on a little walk, right? Most of the time without my phone, clear my mind, stay present, get some vitamin D from sunshine, be a human for a couple minutes between time. And just those simple little things can honestly help you just maintain really high energy throughout the day and just stay focused and stay clear mentally, which obviously helps with any type of business growth.
Absolutely. And I think that, going along with that, with the schedule, right? Just putting something like working out in the gym first thing in the morning, 6, 7, 8, 5, whatever time you need to wake up to make it happen. If you get out of the house in 20 minutes, like, you're going to be awake. I think a lot of struggles that entrepreneurs or salespeople seem to have is it really just comes to your schedule, right? You're sleeping in, you're not waking up at the same time every day. So your mind is like all over the place. But having something to do first thing in the morning that's like a motivator to get out of your bed, right? It's going to help you develop this habit of just crushing things in front of you. Because going to the gym, sometimes you're not going to want to go, but when you go, you have a victory. If you start your day with a victory, right, your whole outlook on that day is going to be so much brighter than rolling out of bed, not making your bed, eating something, dragging yourself to the shower, right, to finally, sit on your phone while you eat food and then go try to have a productive day. You've got to start with something that is a victory every day. And I think that's what, working on your fitness and nutrition can do for you.
Mm-hmm. And starting the day with a victory is drinking water.
Starting
by drinking water.
Yes.
For a tangible for people to in terms of healthy habits, it would be a lot of the things that we talked about center around regularly eating throughout the day to keep your energy levels up. Doesn't have to be a massive meal or anything like that, but even just a small snack. And we'll talk in future episodes about ideas of what those snacks can be. But putting something in your system every 2 to 3 hours in order to keep your energy levels up, and then making it a goal to drink a gallon of water, or maybe even start out with three-fourths of a gallon of water every single day. Those are nice tangible steps that'll really just, you'll treat your body well, and as a return, it'll as an exchange, it'll treat you well on everything that you're doing throughout your work life.
By the way, I was pointing to my coffee mug here, but it's full of water. So oh shit.
I was gonna say, when you were pointing to that, I was like, yeah, coffee's great to keep you going throughout the day as well.
Got it. Well, we might have to end this podcast because I just totally spilled water on my laptop.
So just as a conclusion here, right? So if you're focused on your fitness nutrition, right, you're gonna have a better attitude, mindset, close more sales. You're gonna have more incredible ideas to improve your business, to systematize things, to automate things that you normally aren't thinking of when your body feels satiated. Your habits from, just like doing something really healthy in the morning or taking care of yourself, you're going to feel victories. Those victories are also going to roll into your mindset, right? They're going to roll into, this is a consistent thing I do. It's going to regulate your body. When your body feels regulated, you're going to feel like you're improving. When, again, it's all victories, right? It's all that mindset, which is a lot of what we're going to be talking about. It's going to help your schedule. It's going to help you be consistent. It's going to help you, be smarter in it. When you're putting, healthy things in your schedule, again, you're going to perform at a higher level. This is all about helping you grow your business and increase your sales through fitness. So definitely check those out. Now, if you are someone who wants to take it to the next level, who wants to increase your sales and grow your business, and you want to get in contact with us, we do free consultations. You can click the link in the description to come and just book a call. It'll probably be one of us three or one of our other leaders, Noah. We'd love to chat with you, see how we can help you. We do have a incredible program if you're someone who wants to save time and just have all this done for you so you can benefit from these incredible strategies to grow your business, where you don't maybe have a ton of time to sit down and look up all of the research and create your own workouts, right? Because that takes hours and hours and hours of expertise and failure. We have over 25 years of experience combined in our coaching pool of certified personal trainers who can help you do all of that, where we can literally take care of everything, your meals, your nutrition, your workouts, through our program. So on that consultation call, just ask about that to learn some more about it. We'd love to help you grow your business through fitness.
Holla back at your boys.
Oh yeah. And if you're a college student listening to this and you want to maximize your college experience, we do have a partner podcast with The Knowledge Gap. You guys should go check that thing out too. It's literally The Knowledge Gap podcast or YouTube channel. Yeah. Hit the smash that subscribe. I run that one, and I will help you maximize college. I graduated with a 3.99 GPA, made over $100,000 in college, was totally debt free. And it's great to be recruited for lots of different things all of the time instead of having to throw out your resume.